Hello, welcome to this session. In this session, we will learn JSP programmatically. So, for the programming purpose, I am using Eclipse as usual. So, this is my Eclipse. Now, uh, let's create a project, new, and here we will create dynamic web project. Whenever we are working on any web application that contains either JSP or the sublet, we require something called the server. The server basically provides a runtime environment for the sublet and the JSP. So first of all, what we need to do, we need to configure the server. Now here the server is not configured, so we need to go to this button, new runtime, and I am using Apache Tomcat as a server. There are other servers also available like Oracle server, that is Glassfish, IBM server, Racine server. So there are a lot of servers available in the market. Whatever be your choice, you can use that server. I am using Apache Tomcat 8. So this is Apache Tomcat 8. Next, and then it is required to provide the destination directory, that means the installation directory of the Tomcat. So let's browse it, and okay, so here is my Apache Tomcat 8. Fine, and let's move to this JDK. Okay, so finish. Okay, so that runtime is configured. Let's have the project name JSP learn. Fine. Next, now the Eclipse will create a SRC folder. This SRC folder actually contains all the Java classes basically, and then the Eclipse also create this web content folder, and this web content folder actually contains all the HTMLs or JSPs, CSS, JavaScript, or etc. So let's make it finish. Fine, so we have this JSP learn as a project root, and we have this web content where we can put all our JSPs. In the Java resources folder, we have the SRC folder, and here we can create all the Java classes. For this tutorial, we don't require these Java classes, so we will simply use this web content folder. So let's create a very simple web content, very simple JSP in this web content folder. So new and JSP file. Okay, and I want to give the name like index.jsp. Let me increase the font a little bit. So we go to the Windows, type font, color and font, go with the basic one, text font, edit, make it like a 16, perfect for us, and then we will go to the Java. Okay, font, let's make it 16, that's already there. So okay, fine, now it's perfect. Now as I told you, the JSP is nothing but HTML embedded with the Java code. So this is all HTML stuffs. No need to explain what do you mean by the HTML and the bodies, head, etc. So we are going to put a title here. The title is JSP learn, and for the very simplistic program, I just want to print hello world from JSP. using the JSP expression tag. So this is JSP expression tag, and I want to encapsulate this expression tag into the h1 tag. So what I want to print here is hello from JSP. That's all. This is what I want to print. So let's start running this project. So how to run? Just select your project node, right click, run as, run on server, and it will ask you to which server you want to run. I'm just going to select Apache Tomcat 8 server. Okay, next, and finish. Yep, I'm going to have this output. Now can I see the source code? No, not from here. So what I will do, I will copy this URL and paste it to the browser. Okay, so I'm getting the same output here also, but here what I want to show you is the source of this page. So if you look at the source of this page, you will find there is no Java stuff. It is already converted into the plain and HTML tags and texts. So whenever we are working on any kind of JSP, the JSP is finally translated into the servlet, and then that servlet is sending the response in form of HTML to the client. So client never get any kind of Java stuff or any kind of language stuff. It only get the HTMLs and plain texts, etc. So that's what the client is getting. And this is also an example of expression tag, which expression basically JSP expression. So this is how we put here. Now when I was talking about the expression, I explicitly mentioned that you should not use semicolon here. So let's use the semicolon and see what happens if we are using the semicolon here. So if we run, then yeah, this time we are getting an exception which is unable to compile class for JSP, right? So that proves that the JSP is converted into a class because here the output is unable to compile the class for JSP. And what is the problem here? The problem here is we have provided an extra semicolon here, so we need to delete this semicolon. So if you delete this semicolon, it will be compiled successfully and it will give you the output. Okay, that's what we are getting. Now apart from this, in the first tutorial I want to show you something about the declaration tag and a scriptlet tag also. So let's use this declaration first. Okay, so this is what the declaration tag is, and here I am going to define two variable, one variable, that is my private int result, and that is the value have I supplied here is 100, and the second I want to declare a public function, public int to sum, int a, int b as a parameter, and it will return a plus b. So this is like a declaration. You can declare any kind of variable, you can declare any kind of function inside the declaration. Function means the method. You can define any method inside the declaration. And as I told you, whenever you are putting something into the declaration block, that go as a member of the generated class. That I will show you a little bit later, how everything is converted into the class. So this is a declaration, and from the scriptlet block I want to call this function. So here is the function. How do I call? Let's have this one. Int result equal to do sum 50 100, and I want to print this this result. So there are many ways to print. I am just using the expression tag to print it. Result. So let's see, first let's see the output, and then I will explain how this output comes. So let's run it. Okay. And this is what the expression tag is printing by this one, and then I am declaring a function, and that function is called here. And what is the result of this summation? 50 plus 100, that is 150, and that result is shown here, that is 150. Now the question is, why not it is printing whenever I am printing this result? Why not it is printing this result? It is only printing this result. So let's see how we can print this result first. So I just want to print it like this. The global result is equal to plus this dot result. So this dot result, why you can access this? If you want to access this result, then you should write this dot result, and let's see what is the output here. The global result is 100, otherwise the result which is printed here is 150. Now the conception is very simple. Whenever you are writing, whenever something is written in the declaration block, that go as a declaration in the class. So this variable, like result, is like a member variable of the class, same as this function is also, this method is also the member of that particular class, the generated class. But if you write something inside this scriptlet block, then it go inside underscore JSP service. So this result is basically local variable of underscore JSP service method. And same thing, if you write anything inside expression block, then that also goes inside underscore JSP service method. So these two blocks, these two are like a code inside JSP service method, and that is why it is giving preference to the local variable. But if I want to print this result, then obviously it is a class variable, and we can print it through the this dot result. So that's what is happening here. Fine. Now let's see, can I define a function inside a scriptlet? So can I write like this? Let's have the public void to print, and then I have or simply why not Oh yes, okay, no problem. System dot out dot println hello world. Now uh, right. So if you declare any kind of function or any kind of method inside this scriptlet tag, then it will throw an exception or throw error. Why? Let's analyze it. Okay, so it is again saying unable to compile the class. The reason is since this is what all the things inside this scriptlet go inside to go inside JSP service method, but inside a method we cannot define a method. That's why this problem arises. So we cannot define or we cannot declare any method inside a method. So that's the problem we are facing here. So we need not to do this stuff inside a scriptlet block. Fine. So inside this scriptlet block, what we can do, we can define or we can declare any kind of function. We can define any kind of variable. We can call any method, and we can do some of the computation here, right? But obviously we should keep in mind that whatever we have written here, that go inside the JSP service method. Same thing if we are doing something inside this expression tag, that also go inside the JSP service method. Now let me show you the generated class. So for that purpose, what I will do, I will export okay export as a WAR file, and the destination I want to give is my desktop. Okay, so okay, so finish. So what I get is a WAR file here, and then what I will do, first of all, let me close the server here. So I'm closing the server here. Then I put this WAR file into my Tomcat web apps folder. Paste. Okay, so I have this WAR file. Now I go to my terminal. And then I say okay, so here the Tomcat is started, and what you can see during the startup, so this is actually converted into a folder JSP learn. If you run this application, then what you will see, how you will run this application, you go into the browser, you write 8080 as a port, and then JSP learn. Okay, so this is what we are expecting from the from this program. Now let's go into the work directory, the Catalina as a folder, localhost, and inside that you will find your folder as a JSP learn. You find something there, and there is a class which is generated for index underscore JSP. There is also the Java class which is generated, and let me show you what is this Java class is. So as I told you that whenever you are defining whenever you are creating a JSP, then that the generated class which is generated for that particular JSP is extending HTTP JSP base class. So here is the class which is generated for that particular JSP. The name is index underscore JSP, and it is extending HTTP JSP base. Now other things are basically related to the Apache, so just ignore it. Now let me show you the source code of the JSP again. Okay, that's here also. So fine. Let me show it side by side. Okay, so done, and let me show it again here. Okay. Okay, so whenever we are declaring any kind of method, any kind of variable inside the declaration block, that is also like a declaration inside this class. So if you look at this class index underscore JSP, that is having exactly same thing here. That is what we have defined inside the declaration block. Now if we write any expression inside or anything inside this scriptlet tag, then it goes inside JSP service method. So let me find out where is the JSP service method. Okay, so this is the JSP service method. Look at it very carefully. It requires two parameters. One is your HTTP servlet request, and another is HTTP servlet response. That is response. It is throwing IO exception, the servlet exception, that is the part. So where is our code? What I have written here, int result equal to do sum. So you can find your code here. After declaring all the variables and everything, you can find your code here. This is what we have done. We have written a code inside a scriptlet. It goes here. Now before this, I have also written expression tag, something inside the expression. So let me find out where it is. So you see the expression, whenever you write anything in the expression, it comes in the way like out.print. This expression is converted into the out.print, and whatever you have here, that is copied inside here. So that is what that is how this expression is converted into the class form. So this is exactly here. Now after that, we have this thing inside the scriptlet that is coming here. Now inside this, I want to print this result, and this is again converted into out.print. So here is the out.print result. Now then also again I have something is like in the expression tag, the global result is, and that is what exactly generated here. So whatever you have written in this scriptlet and expression, that go inside JSP service method. Where is that? Just a minute. Okay, so go inside this method, and whatever you have written in this declaration, that go as an declaration inside this class. So this is exactly like here. So this is what the generated class is. This is what the JSP is translated into the servlet, and finally we have all the methods. Okay, so that's all for this session. In the next session we will see something about directives, and then we go for the implicit objects, and then we go for other part of the JSP. Thank you.